Good morning, guys. Today we are going to begin the third chapter of civics, that is the judiciary. So, if we take government to ensure the separation of powers, it is having three branches: is that legislature, executive, and judiciary. In that judiciary, it is a separate wing, an independent wing. It actually settles the disputes between the citizens and punish the guilty, and sometimes it also settles the disputes between the citizens and the government, and between the state governments, and between the state government and the central government. And judiciary is the protector of the fundamental rights of the citizens, and it also interpret the constitution, that is giving meaning for the articles and laws in the constitution. And this judiciary in India, it is a single judicial system, that is a common judicial system for both union and the state governments. And if you take the hierarchy of the courts, Supreme Court is the highest court, followed by High Court, and then other district courts, and then other subordinate courts. And now we are going to begin with the Supreme Court. So, as I said, the Supreme Court is the highest court of the country. So, we call it as the apex court. And it is having the power, the authority to interpret the constitution. And also, it is the highest court. So, all the subordinate courts are working under the control of the Supreme Court. And now the composition of the Supreme Court. The Parliament is having the power to regulate and organize the composition of the Supreme Court, and they can alter the jurisdiction and power of the Supreme Court. If you take the original composition of the Supreme Court, actually it consists of one Chief Justice of India and seven other judges. And this number was raised in 1956 to 11, and then by 1960 to 14, and then by 1977 to 18, and then by 1985 to 26 under Article 124. Currently, we are having 31 judges, including the Chief Justice of India. And now, appointment of the judges. All the judges of the Supreme Court were appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Supreme Court's Collegium. Okay, this Supreme Court Collegium, it consists of the Chief Justice of India and other four senior most judges, and on their recommendation, President will appoint the judges for the Supreme Court. Here, the Parliament and the Union Cabinet, they are not having any progress or any participation in the appointment of the judges of Supreme Court. And um, President also appoint temporary judges if suppose the court is having high work burden. So in those cases, he will take the advice of the Chief Justice of India. Now, qualification to become the judge of the Supreme Court. First of all, he should be a citizen of India. Second, he should be a judge of High Court for 5 years, or he should be an advocate of High Court for at least 10 years according to the article of 124 class 3. And next one, tenure of the judges. So the Supreme Court judges will retire from their office at the age of 65. Now, removal. So impeachment of the Supreme Court judges, it can be done through if suppose on the ground of misconduct or incapability of the judges, and this one can be done on the order of the president, and that order can be issued after the notice was signed by at least 100 members of the Lok Sabha or 50 members of Rajya Sabha, and this notice should be passed in both the houses with two-third majority. Then only a judge can be removed from his office. If you take salary, the judge the Supreme Court's judge salary is 90,000 per month, and the Chief Justice of India is getting a salary of 1 lakh per month. Next one, ad hoc judge. Ad hoc judges or the special judges. Okay, they are appointed for special purposes. Like if suppose the Supreme Court is having a high burden of work, that time the on the recommendation of the Chief Justice of India, President can appoint the ad hoc judge from the retired judges of Supreme Court, High Court, and or from the High Court judges, and etc. And next one, jurisdiction or powers of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court is having many jurisdiction. In that we are going to learn about three jurisdictions, that is original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, and advisory jurisdiction. So the first one is original jurisdiction. According to Article 131, it is giving the limitations of the Supreme Court. Actually, jurisdiction is the limit. Up to what limit the court can function, that is the limit, the jurisdiction. So Article 131 says it can hear and decide all the cases of civil and criminal cases, and also it is having an exclusive authority that no other court can hear the cases what the Supreme Courts are hearing, like the cases like cases between the union government and the state governments, or the disputes between two or more state governments. These kind of cases only be heard and decided by the Supreme Court. Next one, appellate jurisdiction. If you take appellate jurisdiction, this shows appeal. Appeal means where you can ask for you can go for some more clarification. You can go for the higher authority and asking for your grievance. That is appealing. Okay. Here the appellate jurisdiction, since Supreme Court is the highest court in the country, so it is the highest appellate place for your cases. So it can hear cases of all kind. Criminal cases, civil cases, and etc. And it can hold the decision of the lower court, or it can dismiss, reject the decisions of the lower court, or it can direct the lower court to reopen the cases freshly and hear over it. So these are the powers on appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. And next one, advisory jurisdiction. So according to Article 143(1), President can ask for any clarification regarding law to the Supreme Court. So in those cases, a bench of at least 5 judges are capable of answering the grievances, answering the questions, queries, or question of law asked by the President. So those suggestions, those advices which are provided by the court, the judges are not binded on the President. That means that there is no need for the President to follow it. Okay, but he can consider the advices of the Supreme Court. That's it. The Supreme Court is over. Next we are going to begin with the High Court. So we will see about the High Court in the next class. Thank you, class.